Okie doke. Alright, so if you're looking over this tutorial introduction, it's just introducing you to a typical development process and introduction to basic app design concepts, tools, and terminology. So by the end of this tutorial, you'll be able to use built-in Angular directives to show and hide elements, create an Angular components to display hero details, and show an array of heroes, use one-way data binding for read-only data, add editable fields to update a model with two-way data binding, bind component methods to user events like keystrokes and clicks, enable users to select a hero from a master list, and edit that hero in the details view, format data with pipes, create a shared service to assemble the heroes, and use routing to navigate among different views and their components. So yeah. So here's kind of a visual overview of the app. How if you click Magenta, then it shows you her details and you can change the name. And then if you look at the heroes instead of the dashboard, it gives you the full list of all the heroes. And then there's a diagram about navigation. And they have a little GIF of the navigation. So you can see it's pretty basic. Like this is a very basic application, but it's getting into some of the basics of CRUD. So yeah, a good place to start.
Wait,
all right.
CRUD? What's CRUD?
Create, update, create, read, update, and delete. CRUD. So
Okay.
basic apps should all have CRUD functionality.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Oh, cruds.
Oh my gosh.
So all apps at their core are CRUD apps. They all can create things, read and update and delete things. So if you know how to create a CRUD app, then you know how to create apps. Because just adding more bells and whistles or features on top of a basic CRUD app is all you'd have to do. Okay, so we got to create a new project. I think we've already downloaded everything, so we just have to create our new project. So make sure you're in a folder that you want to be in to create this new project, and then use the ng new command. When you have finished creating your new project, please thumbs up this comment. Yeah, mine's being slow too, but it looks like it's making some progress. There's so many packages. What the heck?
Hey, Mark, I got a question.
Okay.
And where it says change the application title, it says open the component template, the HTML file, and delete the default template. Are talking about delete the whole page, all that code?
Yeah, just delete all the pre-made code that they put in there. Yeah.
And just put one line. Okay, all right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think people are still creating their new projects. How many people are following along with this on their computers? Allison, Gary, Jeffrey, I think that's 3 at least. Anybody else following along with that? Okay. Is it just taking a long time to make the new project? The joys of Angular development on laptops. It's going to ask you about routing and style sheet format, so I don't think you need routing. Well, you might need routing. You can always turn routing on, so you can just say no and then CSS. Omar, did you need any help with getting started? Generate command requires to be run an Angular project. So you gotta do ng new. You gotta make a new project first. Are you trying to generate a component that's not in a project? So my new project, I did ng new. Yeah, you need to be in a new folder. You have to make sure your location on your computer is in the correct directory. Make a new Angular project. Oh my gosh, this is like for real taking forever. I think it's just doing all the node module stuff. Just look at all this node modules. Oh my gosh.
Do you want us to hold when we get to the bottom of the page, right? Is that what you want us to do?
Did you make your new project, Gary?
Yeah.
You can move forward if you want. If you just want to read through the tutorial, you're welcome to just keep going.
Right. Yeah. I already served the application, all that, and I'm finished.
You're welcome to keep going with the next steps. Change the title, add application styles, then go on to number 1, the hero editor. You're welcome to do that. Don't need to wait up for us and our slow computers if you want to move on ahead. We're just gonna be reading through the documentation and going through it together, that's all. So you're welcome to keep going. I'll be waiting.
Yeah, the first part was not a lot of stuff to change, really.
Yeah, it's just a matter of like having the stuff load on your computer.
Good one.
Oh man. Oh. Killing me, laptop. You're killing me. I want to get like a really stupidly large screen.
You could get a TV screen.
No, I don't like TV screens. They're stupidly large computer screen. Yes. This pleases me. $1,400 screen. 240 hertz. 49-inch curved QLED monitor.
Oh, jeez Louise. Man, curving everything now.
Well, if the screen is that big, you gotta curve it. Otherwise, you can't even visually focus. The visual focal points for your eyeballs are gonna be taxed. No, that's a little much. This is a little much, but
Hey, I got a question, Marty. So for the second part, once I got the ng-serve open, should I close it before I generate the ng-generate, right, for the component for the heroes?
could you ask that again?
Yeah, I kind of said that sloppily. You know how I'm serving it right now, right?
Yeah.
Do I need to exit out of that before I can generate a new component, right?
Nope.
No. Okay.
You can. Oh yes.
Yes, I do.
No,
right?
no,
Okay.
no, 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 no. You don't. You just
So
need to. You don't need to
Uh-huh.
exit out. You can just
Right.
make a new
Command
terminal.
line. Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Wow. This is a good price. I mean, it's refurbished, but okay. So, how we coming along, folks? Are people still loading up? Goodness. Please finish. Why is this taking? It's ridiculous. Okay. Well, going into I can start changing these files. I don't have to wait for my terminal to finish. So, going into the app component file, the app component HTML file, I can just Control A and delete everything. Pew! And go to the app component TS file, change the title to Well, actually, I want to keep this title. Okay. Okie dokie. App component.html. We put an h1 tag in here. And then in our styles.css, we'll put this other code. So in our source, we have our styles.css. Put some global styles in here. Copy pasta. Very nice. Save this up. Okay. Looks like things are done. So I can cd into my project. ngserve. Why is this sh? Okay. Moving on to number 1, the hero editor. So this is going to be creating some components using the Angular CLI, the command line interface. So they want us to generate a new component called heroes. We can do that. Let me make a new terminal. cd into so ng generate component heroes. Okay. Alrighty. CLI creates a new folder, generates 3 new files. Yes, we know this. This is just a blank heroes component file. You always import the component symbol from the Angular core library and annotate the component class with @component. @component is a decorator function that specifies the Angular metadata. Sweet. Lifecycle hook. Always export the component class so you can import it elsewhere, like in the app module. So next we add a hero property. Add a hero property to the heroes component for a hero named Windstorm. Okay. Windstorm. I don't know why we aren't starting out by making this in a better way, but whatever. Okay. So hero property, Windstorm. Alright, show the hero, display it with h2 in our HTML. Heroes works. We're going to put in a hero. Do you guys remember what this is called with the double curly braces? What do we call
Was
it?
it interpolation or something?
Yes.
Yay!
It's a form of data binding. string interpolation. Show the hero's component view. To display the hero's component, you must add it to the template of the shell app component. Yes, we know this. We should know this. We should all know this. Remember that app heroes is the element selector for the hero's component. So add an app heroes element to the app component template file just below the title. So they give us, in the app component.html, they want us to put the app heroes selector. And, if you're confused as to where this selector came from, if you look in the heroes component.ts under selector, you will see the selector is defined here. So we go into our app component HTML and pop our instance of our component, our heroes component, that's going to show up here in our app component. All right. So if this thing compiled and ran, it's still doing that, apparently. Don't know why it's taking so long. But eventually, when it finishes, I can see it hosted. All right. So next, they want us to create, instead of creating just a property which we display, they want us to create an actual interface. So this is a TypeScript interface, I believe, right? Yeah. That's a TypeScript thing, I believe. So in our app folder, we're going to create a new TypeScript file, and we're going to put this code in. Okay, so in our app folder, we are going to make a new file. I'm going to call it hero.ts. I don't know, shouldn't we call this hero interface? I don't know, maybe that's not necessary. Hero, it is in our app folder. And so source app hero.ts, and then we put this export in the hero.ts. So our hero interface will always have an ID and a name. And then the next step is to return to the hero's component class and import the hero interface. Refactor the component's hero property to be of type hero. Initialize it with an ID of 1 and the name Windstorm. The revised hero's component class file should look like this. So let's put this on the side. Put this on the side. Heroes component. And we need to import hero from not parentheses, curly braces. Import hero from /hero. Okay. And then in our property, instead of this syntax, we are going to do hero : of type hero of type hero is equal to, and then we have an object. And the object defines the ID value and the name value that we want this hero to have. Okay. Cool. Any questions on this so far?
Honestly, other than feeling heroic, I think we're okay.
Then we need to change how this displays. So we go to the heroes component.html, and instead of just simple string interpolation, we are going to do the property interpolation on this hero object. Okay. Then they want us to do uppercase pipe. Okay. So pipes are just a quick and easy way to format things. So you can pull data and then format it with a pipe. The word uppercase in the interpolation binding right after the pipe operator, this vertical line thing, I think that is the key, like above the backslash key, which should be above. It's like shift. You have to press shift and then that key for the pipe operator. So if you type uppercase after the pipe operator, it activates the built-in uppercase pipe. Pipes are a good way to format strings, currency amounts, dates, and other display data. Angular ships with several built-in pipes, and you can create your own. So if you have custom pipes that you need, then you can just do them. All right. Okay, let's see if we can. Okay, so this is running, so I should be able to load this app and look at it. Okay, cool. This looks pretty basic, but that's fine. So we have our title, and then we have our hero, Windstorm, details, ID 1, name, Windstorm. Very nice. And okay, very cool. So next step is to edit the hero. Is everybody good to move on, or are people unable to follow along for any reason? Or maybe Gary's already ahead of us.
I slowed down a little bit.
Okay, so the next step is edit the hero. Users should be able to edit the hero name in an input text box. The text box should both display the hero's name property and update that property as the user types. That means data flow from the component class out to the screen and from the screen back to the class, which is, does anybody remember what type of binding that is before we look at the line below, which tells us that?
Two-way.
Yes, two-way data binding. So the data binding is flowing both ways, both from the input to the property and from the property to the input. So you can change the data by either changing the property values or by changing the input values. So we're going to refactor the details area in the heroes component template. So this file right here, we're going to refactor it. And we're going to refactor it. So instead of this, we're going to delete this line, or we can comment it out, and we can paste this div in. And if we read through this div, we see it's a label, and we have the hero name, and then right after the label we have an input field, and we have our ng model, which is the banana in a box syntax, which is activating the two-way data binding. We have hero.name, and the placeholder for this is name. If there is no defined name, it will be name, and otherwise it will be the hero's name. And so ng model is Angular's two-way data binding syntax. Here it binds the hero.name property to the HTML text box, so the data can both flow in both directions, from the hero.name property to the text box and from the text box back to the hero.name, so that we can update our hero name from this input box. So we will need to add the forms module. Otherwise our app will have problems, right? Yes. So forms module, app module, we need to import in the app module.ts, import forms module from Angular Forms. So we go to the app module, and we see we don't have our Angular Forms import. So we paste that in, import forms module from Angular Forms. Then add the forms module to the ng modules metadata imports array here. So we have our browser module, and then we have our forms module. So, because remember, we have to tell Angular what imports we have imported, and here we can see our components that we have in our app, that we are telling Angular we have these components, and we also imported them up here. And this is the root component, app component, and we are telling Angular to bootstrap the component from app components. Okay, so we do all that, and then it should work again. And now we see we have our ID and then hero name, a name placeholder. Let's give it Martin Conkling. Does it work? Windstorm details. Well, I imagine it doesn't work because this is not updating then, right? In the H2 above the text box. Oh, did we comment that out? We did. No, we didn't. It should update, but it's not. Why is that? Hero.name. Uppercase. Hero.name. Placeholder equals name. This is not working.
Mine is actually working just from following the steps.
Okay. Mine's compiling. I'm just not sure why it's not working.
It's a dumb question, but did you already hit save?
I did.
Oh, okay.
But it's not a dumb question. That's a good question. Declare heroes component. Yeah, we already did that, right? We already have the heroes component declared. I don't know why it's not work. Oh, now it'd work. Ugh.
What did you change?
What changed? No idea. I do not understand, but whatever. Whatever.
Hey, Mark, I gotta go a little bit early today. Is that okay?
Yeah, no worries. So, see you
Tomorrow?
see you tomorrow.
5:30 or 5? 5:30 still, right? Probably 5:30, right?
Do people want to do 5? I think some people did and some people didn't.
Yeah.
So it looks like Tuesdays, don't mind. No, no preference. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, we can meet at 5 p.m. tomorrow,
Okay, sounds good.
and we can record it like we're doing for this, in case you're busy or can't attend. So
All right. All right, thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
have a good one.
Later.
Good night.
Oh no. All right.
So are we gonna meet on Wednesday?
So not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday we can meet. Yeah, when do you guys want to meet on Wednesday?
Can you do like? Well, personally, I would say probably starting at 12 p.m. or something like that. I don't know
But yeah,
about
I mean,
everyone
do you
else
guys
though.
work during the day? Get off at like 5, or are you guys available that early on Wednesday? If you guys are available that early on Wednesday, I'm happy to do it. I don't know what the Wednesday people's availability is for Omar, Gabe, and any other people who.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Because I usually work in the evenings on Wednesday, but not in the morning.
Okay. Well, we'll nail this down. Just leave messages in the chat, in the 209 classroom chat, for your times you'd like to meet on Wednesday, your time range that you guys are good for. Okay. All right. So pretty much, I think we should have finished this heroes components section. Did everybody finish this?
No, the two-way data binding part didn't work for me for some reason.
Okay, I would say go into your heroes component.html and like just change something, save it, and then like refresh and see if it works.
Okay. Thanks.
Because that's what was happening to me too. Windstorm.
You funny.
Hello. Did it work, Allison, or is it still problem?
Yeah, no, it's still not working.
Does it say why?
Do you have any
I don't-
errors?
Let me check. I mean, not that I can see.
In your terminal? There's no errors in your terminal.
Yeah, no, yeah, there's no errors. Like, it served it,
Okay.
but I don't know. Nothing happens when I type.
Just go through and make sure each individual. So exit all of your open code windows,
Yeah.
and then make sure all the files are saved.
Okay.
Because like
Yeah.
I randomly went into my heroes component.html and I just put some white space between this h2 and this div, and then it saved and reloaded, and then it started working.
Huh. That's weird.
It is weird.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not working for me though. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
You might need to do Control-C and then serve it again.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
Okay.
have to reserve Angular applications as you go along.
Okay.
It changes. Yeah, because sometimes there's some bugs like this. Very common, very common. So keep that in mind. If something's not working and you feel like it should be working, just Control-C and then reserve your app. Okay. So covered all these things. Forms module, app module, import forms module, declare here's component. We did all those things. All right. So the next thing would be to display a list. It's almost 7:30. Do you guys want to keep going for a little bit on this, or do you guys want to head out and pick this up either on Tuesday or Saturday or whatever?
I worked a little bit ahead just in case, so I think I'm gonna call it a night for tonight, and we'll resume tomorrow for me.